So I think I will entitle this, Who Am I? I just realized that lots of people, even those closest to me, make some false assumptions about who I am, probably based on their own understanding and experience. I will do what I normally do. I'll start with today and just jump around from one year to another, from one thought to another, and then maybe by the end I'll understand more who I am. So what I am, not number one, but what I am is a good musician who doesn't like to listen to music. The only time I like music is when I'm playing it. Otherwise, I want to hear a man talking to me about the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. We don't necessarily need to have a conversation. I am willing to simply listen, absorb, assess, and filter, keeping only what I know or believe to be true and then applying it. I also tell others about it so they can do the same thing. Most people don't want to hear me. I assume it's because I'm an older female who has rather fake blonde hair, but I could be wrong as I haven't done a survey on that yet, but I will. God assessed me the label of exacting. I thought it was good until I looked it up, and it wasn't what I thought it was, the word. I thought it was just a person who paid close attention to detail, which is required in my musical abilities, my accounting skills, my query writing attributes, my household budget, organizing files, distributing accurate and appropriate data, etc. But what it means is I'm demanding and set a high bar that pretty much no one can reach, even myself. But the Lord I love, the one true God that I actually know through introduction by His Son, through His Holy Spirit, uses this exacting nature for His glory and my good, as long as it's applied correctly and appropriately. That is my goal, to properly and appropriately apply the gifts that God has given me. I know I have been bought at a price, and the price was higher than I ever could have achieved. My life was bought by the blood of the perfect God-man, Jesus, who is somehow both. He gave up his form in heaven and went through the earthly process of birth, life, death, and then did this amazing thing. He rose from the dead by his own, God's power. It has been proven to me beyond a shadow of a doubt that I am his, so I try to remember that all through my life, as I do tip the scales, skew the bottom line, represent debits as credits, and vice versa. It's a hard sheet to balance. Unless I were paid in full, which I have been, I would be bankrupt. Here comes the hard part. Since I was taught no morals when I was a child, my mother saying recently that all I had to do was follow her example, which I did, by the way, having 3 failed marriages and countless failed romances. I led a wild life. I kept looking for satisfaction. My mother did teach me to play piano. I was her worst student ever, a long story but a true story, and I could sing as much as I could talk at a very early age. But I thought my body was for the use of others, as they pleased, so we could all be pleased. God wasn't pleased, as I found out later, and it truly brought me no pleasure. Well, now here is where things turn around. It was in 1980 that God gave me the alternative, now or never. I never wanted to say now, but I had no other choice. I accepted His offer of forgiveness and redemption, not being taught by anyone that there was a whole lot more to this vow than that. It meant a life of change. I resisted by marrying my 3rd and final husband around the same time I was joining a band, a rock band. I told God I want to be a part of that. He let me. They were both hard decisions, and now I keep in touch with the living members of the band, but have not heard from my husband for decades. Another long but true story. This is just the briefest summary I can make right now. There is so much more to this story, but this is the essence of who I am. I am an exacting, bar-holding, promise-breaking accountant, MIS musician, taking on the responsibilities my daughter dumped on me. She didn't get any training either. So why do I do what I do? To be heard. I think what I have to say and sing are worth listening to. Otherwise, what's the point of even opening my mouth? So I will continue to write, to post, to play, and to sing, and hope that one day I'll actually be heard. End of story.